For 9 months, she waited with joint excitement for the arrival of her first child until the time finally came. This mother was completely happy. Her baby came into the world crying like all babies, a quick cleaning and her baby, and she were together again. She looked with joy at her little son, but when she saw them closer, she was so shocked that she burst into tears for a long time. Emma, a 29-year-old woman, had waited patiently for the birth of her first child. It was not an easy pregnancy. Shortly after discovering she was pregnant, her husband was taken to a war zone. He was in the military and had to support his country. Unfortunately, this turned out very differently than the couple had planned. Emma is devastated. This directly affected her pregnancy. Her physical disability was common and her abdominal pains and nausea made her days unbearable. But what was even worse was the fear she felt about losing her husband. The military profession was not a job for cowards. She faced difficult war situations and anything could go wrong. Would he be there for the birth of his son, and even more terrifying, would his son grow up with his father's company? Emma held out hope, but then the inevitable happened. Emma's husband passed away during a rescue operation, leaving the mother to be all alone. Her worst nightmare had come true, and what was a beautiful and joyful time became a real hell for Emma. She didn't know what to do with her pain, and soon she'd have to raise the baby alone. Fortunately, as the months passed, Emma slowly managed to recover. She wanted to do everything she could to give her baby the future her father had not had. The last few months of Emma's pregnancy were very difficult due to her overweight abdomen, and she was beginning to suffer from back problems, and the nausea seemed to be getting worse and worse. Emma knew that something had to be done. She couldn't hold on much longer with her pregnancy. Every day she suffered. She couldn't wait any longer, even though her due date had not arrived yet. So she went to the hospital a month before her due date and begged the doctor to do something to relieve her immense pain. The doctors examined Emma from head to toe, but also concluded that she could not continue to suffer this one. They decided to admit her immediately, and with tears in her eyes, Emma was taken to one of the hospital's delivery rooms. In vain, she waited for her husband, who would never come again. She had no family nearby either, so only she would be at the birth, but a huge surprise was waiting for her. The nurse started an IV in her arm and filled the bag on the bed. With a contraction-inducing agent, overcome by pain, fear, and nerves, Emma lay in bed. She missed her husband's support so much that she almost cried just remembering him. She could still see his deep blue eyes right in front of her if only he were there. But she didn't have much time to cry, because less than an hour after absorbing the medication, she suddenly felt like a blow to her stomach. The doctor rushed to the room as soon as he saw and looked under the sheets. When he saw what was happening, he immediately knew what to do. Emma's labor had arrived and her baby wanted to come out now. The doctor didn't hesitate for a moment and pulled together all the strength he could find. It would not be an easy delivery, and it was only a matter of time to know if it would turn out well. A baby born a month early is always a delicate situation. Sweat was sliding down Emma's forehead as she pushed to bring her baby into the womb. The doctors could already see the baby's head, but the poor thing was not out of danger. Yet a birth like this is only successful when mother and baby see each other for the first time. Screaming in pain, Emma pushed once more, and then there was a thunderous noise. Her son had come into the world, but it wasn't just any newborn baby. This little guy was very special. When the little boy opened his eyes, his mother was stunned. Those eyes were exactly the same as his father. Thomas's deep blue tears rolled down her cheeks as she looked into her little boy's eyes. However, they weren't tears of sadness or sorrow, but of genuine happiness in her newborn's eye. She saw her husband again, so a piece of him would always live on in her son, whom she would name after his father. Now, 3 years later, little Thomas is growing up healthy and happy under the watchful eye of his brave mother. Thomas has just turned 3 years old. He's a very playful little boy and his mother's very happy. Emma still misses her husband, but she tries to teach her values to little Thomas Jr., not to mention that her love is twofold, because for Emma, Thomas Jr. is her son and also her husband's memory, all in one. We all have sympathy for Emma's loss, but we also wish her the best in her future in the company of her wonderful son. We send you much love and blessings and hope that you share this with your friends and family.